All right, so let's jump right in. For the longest time, AI in the classroom sounded like pure science fiction, right? Something from a movie. Well, that's not the case anymore, not even close. AI isn't some far-off idea. It's here, right now, and it's already changing how our kids learn and how our teachers teach.
I mean, just think about it for a second. We're talking about everything from the grammar tools that fix our sentences to apps that help teachers whip up lesson plans. This stuff is already deeply embedded in our schools. Students are using it, teachers are using it every single day. And because of that, we have to get a handle on what's going on.
So, that leads to the big question, the one we're really digging into today. With this crazy powerful tech suddenly everywhere in our schools, what are the new rules? How are we supposed to navigate all this?
And it's not just that it's here, it's the speed that's mind-boggling. Look at this. This chart shows the growth in AI research. And it's not a straight line, folks. It's a rocket ship. It's exponential. We're not talking about slow and steady change. This is a flat-out explosion. And that's why we need to be having this conversation like yesterday.
Okay, so when we talk about AI in education, it's kind of like a coin with two very different sides. Let's start with the shiny side, the promise. A lot of people believe this isn't just an improvement, it's a full-blown revolution for how we teach and learn. And the potential here, it's honestly pretty incredible. Imagine this. AI could create a unique learning path for every single student, adapting on the fly to exactly what they need. And for teachers, it's like giving them a superpowered assistant to handle all the boring paperwork so they can spend more time actually with the students. On top of that, you've got customized lessons and amazing new ways to support students with disabilities or kids learning English. It's a game changer.
Okay, but we've got to flip that coin over. With all that amazing promise comes some pretty serious peril. And with AI moving this fast into our schools, these are risks we absolutely have to face.
And we're not talking about small bumps in the road here. These are major red flags. Think about student data. Who's protecting it? Then there's algorithmic bias. If an AI is trained on biased information, it could actually make discrimination worse for some students. And what about the feeling of being watched all the time through digital surveillance? Plus, let's be real, AI can just get things wrong, spitting out stuff that's inaccurate or totally inappropriate. The biggest fear? If we mess this up, AI can make the gap between high and low achieving students even bigger.
So here it is, laid out side by side. This really gets to the heart of the dilemma. On one side, you've got this dream of a personalized tutor for every kid. But on the other, you have the nightmare of algorithmic bias. You get teacher assistance, but you also risk constant student surveillance. You get customized lessons, but at the cost of data privacy. It's this constant push and pull.
And this quote, this one really hits home. It's from a U.S. Department of Education report, and Dr. Russell Schilling says we're at an inflection point. That's a powerful phrase. It means what we do right now, the choices we make today, will decide if AI helps close achievement gaps or if it tears them wide open. The stakes? Yeah, they couldn't be higher.
So what's the answer? How do we get all the good stuff from AI without the bad? Well, thankfully, there's a big idea starting to take hold, from the federal level all the way down to states. And that idea is human-centered AI.
And what does that mean? It sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. It means the tech works for us, not the other way around. It means we, the humans, the students, the teachers, stay in charge. The goal is to keep people, not machines, at the absolute center of education. AI is the tool, not the boss. So on the federal level, you'll hear this phrase, human in the loop. All that means is that a person, a real live teacher, always has the final say. No matter what the computer suggests, a human can look at it, question it, and say, nope, we're doing it this way instead. The human is always in the driver's seat.
And it's not just a big federal idea. States are running with it too. Take Washington State, for example. Educators there created a really practical model for how this actually works in a classroom. They call it Human AI Human.
It's a simple three-step process. Step 1, it starts with a human. A student has a question, a teacher has an idea for a project. Step 2, that's when you bring in the AI. You use it as a tool to brainstorm, to get a rough draft going. But, and this is the most important part, step 3, it ends with a human. A person has to review it, edit it, and really think about it. The AI helps, but the human does the real learning and makes the final call. Think of it like a co-pilot, not the pilot in command.
Okay, so that's the big idea. Human-centered AI. But what does that actually look like? On a Tuesday afternoon in a real classroom with a real assignment. Well, check this out.
This is a tool called the AI Matrix, and it's brilliant. The easiest way to think about it is like when a math teacher tells you when you can and can't use a calculator, right? Sometimes, for a certain test, it's level 1, no AI. You got to do it on your own. Other times, maybe it's level 2. Sure, use AI to get some ideas, but you do the actual writing. All the way up to level 5, where AI can be a major partner, but you have to explain how you used it and cite it properly. It just makes the rules super clear for everyone.
And the advice for students follows right along with that. It's pretty straightforward. First, just be honest about how you're using AI. Second, think about what you're learning from it. Don't just mindlessly use it. Talk about it with your friends and your teachers. And the big one, the goal is to understand the material, not just to get the answer. Use AI as a learning tool, not a shortcut to skip the learning.
Okay, but let's talk about the elephant in the room, cheating, academic integrity. A lot of schools, when they first saw this problem, they ran to one specific solution. But here's the twist. Experts are now warning everyone, very loudly, not to use that tool.
And here it is. The big recommendation is do not use AI detection software. This is a huge deal. And you're probably asking, why? Well, it turns out they just don't work very well. Top universities have shown they're inaccurate. And even worse, they're often biased. They have a nasty habit of flagging writing from non-native English speakers as being AI-generated, even when it's not. So the answer isn't to fight fire with fire. It's to change the conversation in the classroom to be about trust and using these tools the right way.
So, when you put it all together, what's the takeaway? It's that the path forward isn't about banning AI, and it's not about letting it take over either. It's about finding that middle ground, being smart, being careful, and always putting people first.
And that's the message we're hearing from the very top, from the U.S. Department of Education. This isn't a battle of humans versus machines. The real work is building a future where AI is a powerful tool that helps our teachers and students do amazing things.
Which kind of leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. This technology, it's amazing at giving answers. It can answer almost anything you ask it. But that means our job as humans has become even more critical. Our job is no longer just to have the answers, but to ask the right questions, to be the ones who think critically, who steer this technology with our values. AI has the answers, so the only question left for us is, what are we going to ask?